Kombat Pack 1 has been officially unveiled, and I think all of the characters in it are going to be great additions to Mortal Kombat 1. For returning characters, we have fan favorites like Quan Chi, Ermac, and Takeda. As for the guest characters, we're going to be getting Peacemaker, Omniman, and Homelander. Now, guest characters tend to be a bit controversial in MK games, as generally fans prefer to see returning characters reimagined in the new game. One thing that has people especially concerned are the last two guests I mentioned, Omniman and Homelander. Now, if you have not seen either Invincible or The Boys, the respective shows where these characters originate from, I can see how you may look at these characters as two Superman clones and think, why have two Superman clones in the same game? I want this character instead of those characters, what a waste of a slot. But if you have seen both shows, like I have, you would know that these characters are much more different than they first appear. Today, I'm going to talk about what makes these characters similar, different, and how these traits could be explored in their gameplay. So, minor spoilers for these shows ahead. First, I would like to talk about what makes these characters similar. Well, in each of their universes, they act as a hero that fights off enemies and keeps the peace in similar ways to Superman would, or other heroes would. Both of them also do share some basic Superman-style abilities. For example, both are super strong, super durable, super fast, and have the ability to fly. But that's about where their similarities end, and I think it would be better if NRS focused on what makes them different when designing their fighting styles. Homelander has one more Superman ability I haven't mentioned yet, and that's laser eyes. Omniman does not seem to have this ability. While both have Superman-style abilities, Omniman is closer to Superman as he originates from another planet other than Earth called Viltrum, which is similar to Krypton. Homelander, on the other hand, is literally a superhuman. He originates from Earth and is basically an enhanced human. In the show, Omniman is a trained, battle-hardened fighter, while Homelander is used to being able to brute force and one-shot most threats. Whenever Homelander is faced with an actual challenge of an opponent, he is usually out of his element, as he never learned how to actually fight, because again, he's always the strongest one in the room. As characters, Omniman is more morally gray and deeply convicted in his convictions, while Homelander is generally an unhinged sociopath, mostly serving his own self-interests. Based on everything I've talked about, I'd like to propose some general fighting styles NRS could give these characters to make them feel a bit more different from one another. Omniman, being a more trained and experienced fighter, could have more traditional moves. I could see him being more of a bruiser style character with good pressure. They could give him an anti-air command grab to catch jump-ins, and a grounded command grab to enhance his block pressure. He would be more of a serious fighter. When designing Homelander, they could leverage what makes him more unique. For example, again, Homelander does have lasers while Omniman doesn't. I don't think they'll make him a complete zoner, but he could use this ability to control space. This makes sense, as Homelander being on equal footing with his opponents will mean he will want to keep his distance. Remember, he is not a trained fighter. I could see NRS giving him some more unhinged moves, maybe make him a bully-style character similar to Kano was in previous games, and his playstyle could be less conventional, mostly designed to overpower enemies with sheer force. I can see Homelander having some very disrespectful moves and finishers too. With all that said, I hope I may have convinced any who are worried that these two characters may be redundant, that they're actually more different than they may initially appear. If you haven't seen either of their respective series, I highly recommend checking them out before they drop as DLC in MK1. Remember, NRS did make the Injustice games, and they've tackled characters with similar abilities before. If you look at Injustice 2, there was Green Lantern and Atrocitus, both Lantern-style characters with very different movesets. So I have full faith that they will make these characters both full and unique characters. What do you think about Omniman and Homelander being DLC characters from MK1? Are you excited or let down? How do you think they will play? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'll catch you guys around in the next one.